Hundreds of people in Powell County without water were finally able to get some today, but they had to carry it home themselves.
Well, tomorrow will be another snow day in Knox County. That means no more spring break and less of a summer vacation.
A little light snow falling across parts of the area this evening as we track another blast of Arctic cold temperatures. We'll talk about that in the first few days of March coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5.
Good afternoon to you. Winter weather continues to have a grip on Kentucky. Another shot of cold air today will usher in single-digit temperatures again tomorrow morning.
The cold is expected to stick around a few days before we finally begin to thaw out. We begin with WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey in the First Alert Weather Center. Chris?
Yeah, temperatures this afternoon into the 30s for most areas, and now the cold is slowly but surely increasing from north to south as temperatures decrease as the cold continues to tumble into town. 21 degrees northern Kentucky, yet 30 into Frankfort and Lexington. So that cold air is now across the Ohio River, and it is working quickly toward the south. We've got upper 30s into southeastern Kentucky, areas that picked up snow this morning. Question is, can we get to a record low tonight? No, I don't think that we're going to even get close to that. Tomorrow morning's record low for Lexington, by the way, is 3 below zero, 1934. Forecasting high single digits to low teens first thing tomorrow morning. So that record is probably safe. Now, something we're going to have to watch out for over the next 3 or 4 hours, a little band of some light snow and flurries working in from north to south. It's really right on the leading edge of the cold Arctic air. Getting a few flakes here in the parts of Harrison County and Owen County, Grant County, northern parts of Franklin County over towards Scott County. That is slowly working its way from northwest to southeast, and it's part of a little bigger system that sprawls from southern parts of Ohio back into western Kentucky, and that's one we will track on in here, and it has some snow showers and flurries coming in behind that tonight. So evening flakes, frigid temperatures to follow, and then even as we start to come out of this, guys, for a few days early next week, the overall pattern into the first few days of March looking ugly and nasty. I'll break it down for you when I come back in less than 15 minutes.
Thanks, Chris. More help today for a community dealing with water woes. Hundreds of households in Powell County have been without water for days after broken pipes emptied the county's reserve tanks.
As WKYT's Victor Puente tells us, a big shipment of bottled water arrived today as work to get the water system back online continues. It's our top story at 5.
The thousands of gallons of water that was distributed here was a welcome sight for people who've gone days without running water. The problems began last week as temperatures dropped and pipes began to freeze. As those frozen pipes thawed, the number of leaks shot up and the reserves of the Stanton Water District ran out.
Partially it is broken residential lines that are losing a lot of water. Also, we've had a lot of residents who've been running their water to keep the pipes from freezing.
They are currently supplying water inside the city limits, but beyond that have had to institute rolling water outages in an effort to refill those tanks.
Due to the nature of pumping water means that some locations have to be off while others are on.
The state's Emergency Operations Center is doing what they can. They delivered 200,000 gallons of water for the city to hand out to its customers at a local park. Until those reserves are filled, the people in charge of the water company are asking their customers to conserve as much water as they can. They say one issue they're having is as soon as they turn on water to an area, people begin doing laundry and taking showers. They're asking them to hold off on that for a while unless it's absolutely necessary. Water company officials say they don't have a timeline for when those tanks will be refilled and all service will be restored. In Powell County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Stanton Water customers outside of the city limits who do have water are under a boil water advisory. The water situation is improving in Estill County. About 1,000 homes are still without water. 3,500 households were out earlier this week. The water distribution center at the Estill County Fair Barn will remain open until 8 tonight. County water officials tell us they still need to pump in 1 million gallons of water to be back to normal operation.
It's been nearly 2 weeks since some students have been in school because of the winter storm. With so many snow days piling up, some districts are now trying to figure out how to make them up. As WKYT's Phil Pendleton reports from Knox County, it can mean being in school instead of on vacation.
This is Lundy Mountain Drive behind me. It's close to Barberville, actually just off of US 25. In fact, you can probably hear the traffic of US 25 just here in front of me, but you can bet that roads out in the county are a whole lot worse than this. Of course, too dangerous for school buses to travel on. Now, Knox County has missed 20 days of school. They have decided to be in school all of spring break, and on March 20th, which was going to be for professional development, they will also be in school. And if there are no more days missed, the last day as of now will be June the 10th.
And a lot of people think because the governor declared a state of emergency, that it automatically, sets those days from last week, as being wiped clear, where we don't have to make them up. But that's not the case. Students still have to meet the requirements of the state law.
Now, I did ask Shelton about the possibility of Knox County adopting more of a non-traditional format like Boyle and Jessamine counties have, but he says because of the limited internet accessibility and the lack of broadband in some parts of the county, that simply would not be possible. We're going to have a lot more coming up at 6 o'clock, including what some parents think about the situation. For now, in Knox County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Knox County school officials say they'd like to request calamity or disaster days and will be talking to their representatives in Frankfort about that possibility.
3 people died in a house fire in Greenup County. It happened late last night on State Route 7 in the Lode community. State police have identified 48-year-old Wilma Osborne and 6-year-old Jensen Archery as 2 of the victims. They're still waiting on a positive ID for the 3rd victim. Police say all 3 are related. The cause of that fire is still unknown, but police say they do not suspect foul play. Former University of Louisville basketball player Chris Jones faced a judge this morning.
He pleaded not guilty to rape and sodomy charges in an incident stemming from last weekend. WKYT's Jordan Valines is at the live desk with the latest. Jordan?
Jennifer, that's right. We're told that the alleged incident happened early Sunday morning at an apartment complex in Louisville. Today, a U of L spokesperson addressed the charges that Chris Jones and 2 other men are now facing.
We're handling this like any other investigation that would go through concerning sexual assault, and we will make sure that it is a fair and thorough investigation.
An investigation into allegations made by 2 females who called police Sunday morning saying they'd been sexually assaulted at Cardinal Town's apartment complex. University of Louisville police immediately launched an investigation, resulting in warrants being granted and later served to former U of L basketball player Chris Jones and 2 other men who are not students, Jalen Tilford and Tavon Walker.
Incredibly unfortunate situation. The safety and the well-being of our students are the top priority.
Jones is now facing 2 counts of first-degree rape and 2 counts of first-degree sodomy. The charges now being disputed by Jones's attorney.
We believe this gentleman is innocent, and he's been falsely accused, and he's going to be found not guilty. And we certainly hope the community will keep the presumption of innocence in mind, because he deserves it. And when the facts of this case come out, people will agree with us about that.
Jones will be released on home incarceration in lieu of a $25,000 bond. At this time, investigators are not commenting on who lived at the apartment where the crime allegedly occurred. At the live desk, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
One alleged victim is a University of Louisville student, the other an online student at Western Kentucky University. A man charged in a deadly interstate shooting also faced a judge today in Louisville. Christopher McCullum entered a not guilty plea. Police say he fired shots into a black SUV on I-71 yesterday morning, killing the driver, Mukhtar Ahmad. Police say the men did not know each other. Investigators believe the shooting stemmed from a road rage incident. McCullum is being held on a $100,000 cash bond.
A man is in custody after a long standoff with police. Our county-by-county coverage at 5 begins in Boyle County. Danville police were called to the home on Boone Trail this morning after a woman called and said her brother had barricaded himself inside with a handgun. Officers secured the area and started negotiations by phone. After 4 hours, officers tased the man who was armed with a loaded handgun. The suspect, who has not been identified, has been taken into custody pending a mental evaluation. In Madison County, a man is in jail on child pornography charges. State police arrested 29-year-old Frankie Hardy last night following an undercover online investigation. Police say he was sharing pictures online. Investigators say they seized computer equipment from Hardy's home. Hardy is charged with 20 counts of possession and 12 counts of distribution of matter portraying a sexual performance by a minor. And in Knox County, Kentucky State Police have charged 5 people after they found a meth lab hidden inside an air conditioning vent. The Lexington Herald-Leader reports that an anonymous tip led troopers to the home of Alvin and Tanya Couch on Kentucky 6 in Barberville. Both have been charged with manufacturing meth and endangering the welfare of a minor. The couple's 16-year-old, who was home at the time, was released to other relatives. Also charged were Kimberly Hammonds, Steve Roark, and Ashley Smith. All 3 were charged with manufacturing meth.
It's now legal to possess a small amount of marijuana in the nation's capital. Next on WKYT News at 5, how an ongoing dispute between Congress and local government continues over the new law. And a bus crash in Illinois sends nearly a dozen students and their driver to the hospital. Find out what might have caused the crash.